Did you realize that your bedroom, the area you go to relax and recover, could be secretly poisoning your body every night? If you're over the age of 65, this is not simply a scary concept. It's a genuine and growing threat that might be impairing your sleep, memory, and even your heart without your knowledge. You eat properly, take your prescriptions, and remain active, but you still wake up fatigued, disoriented, or achy. The problem could be right next to your head. In this video, I'll show you the 5 hidden sources of radiation in your bedroom that could be causing your body to weaken night after night, as well as the simple modifications you can do right now to recapture deep healing sleep. Before we begin, I would like to hear from you. Where are you watching from, and what time is it now? Leave a comment below. Even the smallest time in your day means a lot to me. If you found this article useful, please subscribe so you don't miss out on the next health tip tailored specifically to you. Every night, your bedroom should be the safest location in your home, allowing your body to rest, recover, and prepare for the day ahead. However, many seniors, particularly those over 65, face a hidden hazard while sitting calmly just inches from the head of the bed. It doesn't hum, buzz, or light brightly, yet it has a greater impact on your sleep than you realize. That digital alarm clock you've been relying on for years may be doing more harm than good, especially if it's sitting on your nightstand. Most digital clocks, particularly those that remain hooked into the wall, create electromagnetic fields, or EMFs. These EMFs are invisible, yet they emit continuously day and night from the time the device is turned on. And when the clock is only 6 to 12 inches away from your brain, as it is for many individuals who keep it next to their sleep, the exposure becomes continuous and concentrated. Your brain, neurological system, and immune system are all under low-level stress without you even realizing it. Our cells' innate ability to repair damage declines as we age. This indicates that elderly are more susceptible to environmental stresses, including EMF exposure, than younger persons. While a teenager can sleep through anything, a 70-year-old's body is more sensitive, particularly during sleep, when the brain is supposed to regenerate itself. Instead of resting, your body works harder to restore itself under pressure. Have you ever pondered why you wake up exhausted despite getting a full night's sleep? Or why do you wake up with a dull headache, grogginess, or a heavy feeling behind your eyes? These symptoms are sometimes ignored as normal aging, but the truth may be simpler and far easier to treat. Take Evelyn, a retired school teacher from Oregon. At 73, she was doing everything correctly, including going to bed early, avoiding caffeine, and even practicing meditation. Still, she awoke every morning feeling as if she hadn't slept at all. Despite doctors' assurances that everything was well, she suffered from regular migraines, restless nights, and exhaustion. She started to look into EMFs in the bedroom after reading a health article about them. She noticed her digital clock had been sitting only 12 inches from her head every night for nearly 5 years. As a tiny experiment, she replaced it with a simple battery-powered analog clock and placed it at the far end of her dresser. The outcomes were nearly immediate. Evelyn slept for 4 nights without waking up. The headaches have stopped. The cerebral fog has dissipated. She awoke feeling lighter and more focused than she had in years. It was like a curtain had been lifted, she told her daughter. I hadn't realized how long I'd been sleeping beneath a cloud. Science is beginning to validate what Evelyn witnessed firsthand. Numerous studies have found that EMF exposure, particularly during sleep, can interfere with melatonin production. Melatonin is a hormone that governs your sleep cycle, as well as a potent antioxidant that helps your immune system function. When melatonin is repressed, your body loses a critical capability for battling disease and inflammation in addition to sleeping poorly. So, what can you do? The first and most straightforward step is to replace your digital clock with a battery-powered or wind-up type. These clocks operate just as well and produce no electromagnetic radiation. If you must use a digital clock, position it at least 6 feet from your bed. It may appear to be a little issue, but for elders, small modifications can lead to significant benefits. Your body is continuously communicating with you, usually through exhaustion, headaches, or restless sleep. The problem is not always internal. It could be just a few inches away, glowing softly throughout the night. By altering your bedroom setting, you provide your body the peaceful, low-stress environment it requires to heal. Better sleep results in increased energy, focus, and even better heart health. And when you wake up feeling refreshed and lucid, everything seems easier, from cooking breakfast to remembering names. You deserve slumber that will actually revive you. Start with this simple step tonight and give your body the rest it deserves. For many older folks, the bedroom is intended to be a quiet retreat, a place to escape the outside world and allow the mind to rest. But what if that peaceful space was filled with something silent, invisible, and powerful enough to upset your memory, heart rate, and sleep? This may appear extreme, but more and more research confirm what many seniors are beginning to suspect. Wi-Fi routers and wireless devices may be quietly altering your brain and body overnight. If you are over 65, the effect may be considerably more severe because your body's natural defenses are no longer as robust as they once were. The blood-brain barrier is one of your body's most ignored but crucial barriers. Consider it a filter that protects your brain from potentially dangerous toxins in your bloodstream. As we age, this barrier becomes increasingly porous, brittle, and ineffective at keeping poisons and disturbances out of sensitive brain tissue. Now consider persistent exposure to pulsed radio frequency waves, such as those from your Wi-Fi network, which can operate 24 hours a day just a few feet away from your head. The risk becomes less hypothetical and more imminent, particularly when the body is at its most vulnerable state, deep sleep. Even if they go to bed early, older folks may wake up feeling foggy, intellectually hazy, or emotionally tired. This is not usually due to normal aging. It can be your brain's method of communicating that something is wrong. Something may be interfering with its natural healing process at night. We now know that EMF exposure can impair memory, increase heart rate variability, and affect your body's generation of melatonin, the hormone that helps you go into deep, healing sleep. Let me tell you the story of Stanley, a 71-year-old retired engineer from Michigan. He enjoyed technology and was constantly up to date on the latest technologies. His Wi-Fi router was conveniently located on his bedside dresser, barely 8 feet from where he slept. He enjoyed being linked even while resting and never considered it until his memory began to fade. He began to forget where he had put his keys, misplaced appointments, and unintentionally repeated stories to his wife. Worse, he experienced fluttering sensations in his chest and frequent dizziness, which worried his family. His cardiologist performed several tests and discovered no severe problems, but then asked Stanley an unexpected question: "Where is your router at night?" That single question altered everything. Stanley chose to relocate his router to the far corner of his house, downstairs in his home office. He even attached it to a basic outlet timer, so it would turn off automatically at 11 p.m., turn it back on at 7 a.m. Within 3 weeks, his sleep quality improved, the heart flutters subsided, and his memory began to sharpen. His wife noted that he was more aware in the mornings, more present at breakfast, and recalled their neighbors' names again. Stanley's cognitive test scores had improved by approximately 30% by the time he saw his doctor again. So, what is the lesson here? Even a modest passive equipment, such as a Wi-Fi router, can have a significant impact on a senior's health if installed in the incorrect area. The solution is straightforward, and you do not have to sacrifice the ease of modern technology. Simply make it work with your biology rather than against it. If your router is located in or near your bedroom, consider moving it to a different floor or to the farthest part of your house. If moving it isn't an option, set an outlet timer to turn it off automatically at night. You do not require constant Wi-Fi when sleeping, and, if you're willing, consider using a wired Ethernet connection for added security, particularly in your sleep. Wired connections not only limit radiation exposure, but they also increase internet stability, which is useful whether you work from home or make video conversations with family. The simple things are more important than ever in our older years, especially when it comes to sleep, memory, and heart health. Every night, your body works hard to heal, restore, and protect itself from long-term damage. However, it will be unable to do so if it is bombarded with disrupting signals for 8 hours. By making one simple modification, relocating or disconnecting your Wi-Fi at night, you're giving your brain the quiet it desires and the darkness it requires to recuperate. In exchange, you may notice brighter mornings, clearer ideas, and a heart that feels slightly more stable. Because often the solution to greater health isn't another drug or test, but rather rethinking what's sitting silently next your bed. A fresh-smelling bedroom has a soothing scent that helps you feel clean, safe, and tranquil at the end of the day. For many older folks, particularly those who live alone, maintaining their home pleasantly scented becomes a habit, a method to create a warm, welcome environment. But what if that peaceful aroma was causing more damage than good, particularly to your lungs, sleep, and energy levels during the day? It may be time to investigate something as small as a plug-in air freshener. Millions of houses across the country contain electric air fresheners. They are handy, inexpensive, and offer weeks of scent with little upkeep. However, most individuals are unaware that these devices emit a continual stream of electromagnetic radiation, or EMFs, when connected into a wall. At the same time, they emit volatile organic compounds, which are tiny airborne particles that can irritate the lungs, particularly if inhaled while sleeping. This places a twofold strain on your respiratory system. Persistent exposure to EMFs, combined with the gradual building of synthetic substances in the air you breathe. For older persons, this strain is exacerbated. As we age, our lung function naturally deteriorates, and our airways become more sensitive to irritants that younger lungs could manage without difficulty. Aging lungs also recover more slowly, so even minor pollutants can cause long-term inflammation, chronic cough, or difficulty breathing. Allow me to tell the story of Virginia, a 77-year-old widow from Florida. Virginia enjoyed keeping her home clean and fresh. She used plug-in air fresheners in almost every room, including the one next to her bed, because she liked the calming scent of lavender at night. However, she gradually developed a dry, scratchy throat, followed by a persistent cough. At first, she attributed it to allergies or seasonal changes. She tried cough medicine, warm tea, and even installed a humidifier, but nothing seemed to work. It wasn't until she spent a week at her daughter's house without using air fresheners that she noticed a change. Her cough subsided, her breathing became better, and she awoke with no tight, painful sensation in her chest. When she went home, her daughter gently suggested that she remove all of the plug-in devices from her bedroom and living room. Virginia consented despite her reservations. She had used them for years and liked the way her home smelled. Instead, they placed tiny pans of baking soda in each room to absorb aromas and added a few cotton balls infused with essential oil near her dresser, away from her bed. Within a few days, her breathing improved again. She felt more refreshed in the morning, less congested, and noted she was sleeping deeper than usual. Her pulmonologist was shocked by how rapidly her lung function improved after years of dealing with persistent respiratory irritation. Perhaps most crucially, Virginia felt empowered, as if she had recovered some control over her body and home surroundings. Scientific studies now reveal that electric air fresheners can emit chemicals such as formaldehyde, benzene, and phthalates into the air, which are known to irritate the respiratory system and, at high quantities, provide long-term health problems. When you sleep, your breathing slows and deepens, giving these toxins more time to settle in your lungs and enter your body. When paired with low-level EMFs emitted by the device itself, the effect on senior health becomes more serious. So, what is the better option? Begin by unplugging any electric air fresheners in your bedroom, especially if they are close to your head while sleeping. Next, consider natural options, such as a bowl of baking soda in a corner of the room. It quietly absorbs scents without adding anything to the atmosphere. If you love pleasant scents, apply essential oils such as lavender or cedar on a cotton ball placed across the room from your bed. Even dried herbs or flowers in a breathable sachet can create a gentle, relaxing aroma without adding any dangerous chemicals or radiation. The objective is to let your bedroom return to its original form, where the air is clean, the surroundings is pleasant, and your body can relax without being disturbed. You don't have to sacrifice comfort or hygiene to preserve your lungs and rest. Simply be aware of what is around you when sleeping, because every breath is important at this period of life. Every night of deep, unbroken sleep counts. And sometimes the most significant gains start with the smallest changes, such as what you select to plug in alongside your bed. On frigid nights, nothing beats sliding into a warm bed. For many seniors, particularly those living in cooler climes or suffering from joint discomfort, an electric blanket or heating pad may appear to be the ideal solution. It delivers rapid warmth, relieves stiffness, and generates a sense of coziness, allowing the body to relax. But what if that same warmth was quietly messing with your health night after night, without you knowing it? Electric blankets and plug-in heating pads operate by passing electric current through small wires woven into the cloth. These currents generate heat, but they also produce an electromagnetic field known as EMF, which surrounds your body while you sleep. And, unlike other household gadgets that are set a few feet away, electric blankets rest directly against your skin, covering your chest, abdomen, and legs. This implies that your entire body is exposed to low-level radiation for hours at a time, exactly when your cells should be resting, repairing, and regenerating. Younger people's bodies may endure this type of exposure with little visible consequences. However, the situation is very different for seniors, particularly those over the age of 65. The body's ability to manage inflammation declines with age, and exposure to EMFs while sleeping may silently induce the synthesis of stress molecules. Over time, this increased inflammation can exacerbate chronic illnesses such as arthritis, affect cardiac rhythm, and interfere with deep restorative sleep. Let me tell you the story of Dorothy, a 75-year-old retired nurse from Minnesota. Her town's winters are long and brutal, and she has relied on her electric blanket to sleep through the cold for years. She used it every night, maintaining it on low heat till the morning, and she never imagined it could cause any harm. But Dorothy gradually realized something was wrong. Her joints were stiffer in the morning, despite the fact that the warmth had helped her fall asleep the night before. She began to wake up with unusual muscle aches and heart palpitations, making her nervous. Initially, she blamed it on aging or stress, but after reading an article regarding EMF exposure in sleep, she decided to try something new for a few weeks. She replaced her electric blanket with a thick down comforter and made her bed with flannel sheets and a wool mattress pad. On really frigid nights, she placed a hot water bottle at her feet or microwaved a rice-filled bag to pre-warm the bedding. Within 3 weeks, the difference was noticeable. Her joint discomfort subsided, her heart rhythm improved, and she reported sleeping better than she had in months. Scientific investigations now back up Dorothy's experiences. According to the Environmental Health Institute, prolonged EMF exposure during sleep can elevate inflammatory markers in older persons by up to 35%. This form of inflammation does not cause immediate pain, but it gradually weakens the body's resistance, impacting everything from joint mobility to cardiac function. The gentle, consistent presence of EMF against your body during sleep may not seem like much, but it accumulates over time. So, what can you do if you still require warmth throughout the winter months? Fortunately, there are safe and effective options. Natural insulation, such as wool down or flannel, retains body heat efficiently and allows you to stay warm without relying on energy. To improve comfort, pre-warm your bed with a hot water bottle or microwave-safe heating pad packed with rice or flax seed to produce mild heat without exposing you to EMF. If you must use an electric heating device, consider turning it on just before bedtime and unplugging it before falling asleep. Never leave it running overnight, especially if it is in direct touch with your skin. You'll provide your body with warmth when it needs it most, while also shielding it during critical hours of healing and rest. Comfort and protection become increasingly crucial as we age. Your body is doing its best to keep you stable, mobile, and focused. The minor decisions you make during your bedtime routine can have a significant impact on how you feel in the morning. Sometimes the most nurturing thing you can do for yourself is to stop adding more. It is gradually taking something away. So tonight, before you go to bed, ask yourself whether this warmth is coming from a source that heals or one that softly harms. Your body deserves rest that actually repairs, and you have the ability to generate it right now. As we get older, the manner we feel comfortable changes. Cold evenings might feel colder, muscles tighten more quickly, and what was once a moderate shiver prevents us from going asleep. For many seniors, an electric blanket or heating pad becomes a nightly companion, providing much-needed warmth and relief. But what if that comfort came at an invisible cost? A layer of tension that was placed on your body night after night while you slept, expecting it to heal? It's a topic that few people discuss, but an increasing number of scientists are concerned because electric blankets and heating pads emit low-frequency electromagnetic fields, or EMFs, that surround the body when turned on. These EMFs are a type of non-ionizing radiation, and while considerably weaker than X-rays or microwaves, their continual presence can nevertheless affect your body's internal processes. The issue grows much more acute when the exposure is prolonged and occurs during sleep, when your cells are working hard to repair themselves. For seniors, whose tissues are more susceptible to inflammation and oxidative stress, this exposure may discreetly shift the balance toward discomfort and imbalance. You may not see it straight away. You may simply wake up with stiff joints, an aching hip, or a pounding heart that subsides by morning. These symptoms can feel like aging, but they can also indicate that your body isn't getting the rest it requires at night. Dorothy, a 75-year-old retiree from Minnesota, found the indications too frequent to ignore. Dorothy had always enjoyed her electric blanket. Living in a frigid region, she relied on it to fall asleep and keep warm during long winters. However, her sleep became increasingly shallow, and her knees began to pain even when she hadn't moved much. She also began to notice heart flutters, which were rapid, erratic beats that made her anxious when sleeping still. Her doctor did tests, but nothing serious was discovered. Still, something felt wrong. When Dorothy read an article regarding EMFs and aging, she decided to try something new. She put away her electric blanket and replaced it with layers of natural warmth, including flannel sheets, a wool-lined comforter, and a soft mattress cushion. She also included a simple bedtime regimen. She heated a rice-filled cloth bag in the microwave before tucking it beneath the blankets for a few minutes. She then removed it before going to bed, allowing the bed to maintain its heat without the use of electricity. Her sleep improved substantially in about 3 weeks. The palpitation caused her joints to loosen, and for the first time in months, she awoke feeling clear and strong. Scientists now recognize that persistent exposure to EMFs, particularly when the entire body is engulfed in the field, such as with electric blankets, can increase inflammatory cytokines. These are chemical messengers that signal the immune system when to fight. But if they remain elevated for too long, they might cause low-grade inflammation throughout the body. This is one of the hidden causes of age-related conditions such as joint stiffness, weariness, and cardiovascular strain. Electric blankets aren't inherently evil or dangerous. The issue is how they are used and how frequently. Sleeping 8 hours a night under EMFs may appear safe, but for an older body in need of deeper healing, the background stress can interfere. It diverts energy away from healing and adds an extra layer of undetectable work to your rest. So, what are some safer alternatives? Natural fibers such as wool, flannel, or fleece can provide excellent warmth without the use of a plug. If you need a little more heat, a hot water bottle or a microwave warm rice pad will provide comfortable comfort without the radiation. If you do use an electric blanket, switch it off after the bed is warm to allow your body to sleep without being exposed to EMFs. Sometimes the best kind of self-care is not what you add, but what you subtract. By providing a warm, soothing sleep environment, devoid of unwanted distraction, you allow your body to do what it was designed to do: restore. Because peaceful sleep is more than just a luxury in old age. It is your body's natural medicine, and you deserve every bit of it. As we get older, our bodies grow more susceptible not only to illness or injury, but also to the subtle pressures that we face every day. For many older folks, some of the most underestimated risks are found directly alongside the bed rather than outside the home. Digital alarm clocks, Wi-Fi routers, plug-in air fresheners, phone chargers, and electric blankets may appear harmless, but they quietly emit waves of energy that your body may feel. These invisible forces, particularly at night when mending should occur, can disrupt sleep, heart rhythm, memory, and even joint health. Seniors are more vulnerable because their body's mending systems slow down as they age. Cells take longer to heal. Sleep becomes lighter. And anything that adds effort, even a modest nightstand gadget, can tip the scales toward weariness, pain, or forgetfulness. But here's some good news. You should not be afraid of your bedroom. Just rethink it. A simple change, such as placing your phone farther away or turning off your Wi-Fi at night, can contribute to deeper sleep. A minor modification in what you plug in can provide your brain and body with the peace and quiet they have been seeking. Because each night is an opportunity to mend, and your body still understands how, if you just give it the space. You've made it thus far by strength and resilience. Allow your bedroom to provide you with the peaceful, clean energy that you actually deserve. Thank you for spending time with me today. I hope this movie has helped you see your bedroom in a new light: quiet, calm, and truly healing. Even the simplest objects can have a significant impact on how we sleep, think, and feel each morning. But the good news is that with a few minor adjustments, you can create an environment that supports your body and respects the rest you deserve every night. Now, I'd like to hear from you. Have you ever kept any of the following objects in your bedroom? What's one modest adjustment you're willing to make tonight? If this video provided you with a new perspective or a sense of encouragement, please leave a remark or just write the word HOPE. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the small bell so you don't miss any future health tips tailored just for you. And if you have a friend or loved one above the age of 60, please consider sharing this video with them. It might also help them sleep better. Until next time, may your nights be restful, your mornings bright, and your heart be full of peace. Take care, and I will see you again soon. Bye.